This tutorial will go over entering basic notation in Band-in-a-Box. I have a slow bossa tune here, and I would like to add a simple melody to it. The first thing to do is open the notation window by clicking on the button with the 8th note on it. This button toggles back and forth between the chord window and notation. The first thing you should know about the notation screen is that there are 3 modes which are toggled with these buttons. By default, you start in regular mode, which is meant for viewing notation. If you want to add or edit the notation, then you need to use editable mode by clicking here, or staff roll mode by clicking here. We'll start out in editable mode. So let's start adding some notes for this melody. Adding notes is simple as clicking right on the staff. Since the first chord is A minor 7th, I will start with an A on the first beat. Now I want this first A to be an 8th note, but I got a much longer note. Now this is where Band-in-a-Box notation system is really handy. You don't have to choose a specific duration before you enter each note. All you need to think about is when the next note is, enter it, and then Band-in-a-Box will automatically change the previous note's duration to fit. So since these grid lines are indicating 16ths, the duration of an 8th note would require 2 of them. So if I add a B to the 3rd grid line, that has changed the first note to an 8th. So now the new note sort of has an undetermined duration, but I would like it to also be an 8th. I will just add some more notes so you can see how the melody develops. So as I go along, each note's duration has been automatically defined by Band-in-a-Box. The only note that is always undefined is the last note, simply because Band-in-a-Box doesn't yet know what will happen after it. So far, all the notes I have added are in the key of C. But this next chord is a D7, so I would like to add an F sharp. If you want to quickly add a sharp or flat note, just hold down the Shift or Control key on your computer keyboard while entering the note. Control makes the note flat, and Shift makes it sharp. So I am holding down the Shift key and clicking on F. And now I have an F sharp. Now you could also force an accidental by dragging a note with the mouse. For example, if I add an E, and I want to change it, then I just have to drag it up or down on the staff like so. Band-in-a-Box gives you a preview of the note when dragging, which can be helpful if you haven't yet decided which note you want, and instead find the note by ear. So if I stop on a semitone below E, then there's the E flat. Now at the end of this bar, I would like to add a triplet. Band-in-a-Box lets you add things like triplets or quintuplets by defining the resolution of any beat. You can do this by right-clicking in this area above the staff. Just click above the beat you wish to modify, and that opens this beat resolution window. The default resolution for this bossa style is 16ths, or 4 per beat, but for a triplet I will change the treble clef resolution to 3. Just click OK, and now there are only 3 grid lines on this beat. So now I can add a triplet easily, because Band-in-a-Box will snap to the grid when I click on the resolution lines. I am going to add another triplet on the next beat, including a B flat, so holding down the Control key while clicking. Notice this little black mark? This is the notation cursor, which indicates what beat I am working with. There are a few uses for the notation cursor, such as adding notes from other windows, like the guitar fretboard or big piano, or in a situation like this, I can preview the sound of the chords I'm working with by holding down Shift and hitting Enter. Quickly hearing the chords you are working with can be useful for thinking of a melody to go with them. I will just keep adding more notes until I have an 8-bar melody. On second thought, this E flat here might not sound so good, so I will delete it. To delete a note, just right-click on the note and click on delete note. And I would like to shorten this F to just a half note to fit in an 8th rest on beat 4. Entering a rest works the same as entering notes, just first enable the rest checkbox before clicking on the staff. After adding a rest, Band in the Box defaults back to note mode for convenience because rests are less common than notes. So I have got 8 bars of melody written here. Let's hear how it sounds. I'm using the scroll bar to get back to bar 1, switching to regular notation mode, and hitting play to start the song.